The natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, for they are spiritually discerned. The natural view confines reality to the moment called now. To the natural view, the past and future are purely imaginary. The spiritual view, on the other hand, sees the contents of time. It sees events as distinct and separated as objects in space. The past and future are a present whole to the spiritual view. What is mental and subjective to the natural man.
Okay, let me stop that for a second. This is some heavy stuff from Neville Godard. Neville Godard is a great teacher when it comes to the imagination, how to use the imagination to create our reality. Neville was the first person, when I heard something from Neville, I was like, okay, this is too much. This is too much. When I first heard that imagination is God, our human imagination is the God we talk about. But when you think about it, tell me one thing that was created on this earth that was not first imagined, that was not first thought of, then created. Is it art, music, houses, clothes, parks, buildings, structures? Think about it. Everything that exists today in the physical world came from the human imagination. And everything that will be created tomorrow will come from the human imagination. There exists a place where the things we think about is actually a thing. So there's two gifts that humans have, which is only gifted to human beings, which is a vivid sense of memory and a fantastic sense of imagination. Memory has to do with pulling experiences from the past, and imagination has to do with looking into experiences in the future. And it's interesting because what we call the future is what we are creating now. This second, this minute, when I started giving this talk, everything that I've said prior to now is now in the memory, is past. And everything that has not happened is future. Or now is the future that did not exist 1 second ago, 2 seconds ago, 3 seconds ago. So you see, because we're in a constant state of motion, of activity, we are creating our future based on our thought, how we think, what we're thinking now. The only time you have, the only reality is now. Life happens now, not what happened yesterday, not what happened 1 minute ago, not what happened 1 second ago, is now. Keeping your mind in a way that you don't get disturbed, you don't get jostled, you don't get affected by things that happen, or you don't let people or things, circumstances, situations control your thought, control your thinking. That is the key to manifestation, creation, designing your life the way you want it to be. Some people say, how can I control my thoughts? It's so hard to control my thought. It's so hard to think what I want to think because all this, my mind is just going everywhere. To those people, I say, you got to start somewhere. So you got to start somewhere, take it in small strides. And I always use this example. When you work out, you don't go to the gym one day and become an excellent gym expert, an excellent workout master, mistress, anything. You go, you're going to be wobbly, you're going to be out of shape, you're going to be out of place, it's going to feel weird when the first time you lift weights or use exercise machines, but you don't stop. You go again. In about a month, you start getting comfortable with the gym equipment. You start getting comfortable with the environment. You start getting comfortable with the way things work. It's the same thing with creation, with using our imagination. The same thing with controlling your thought. And once you take a hold of this thought process, You start controlling your feelings, because the thought controls our feelings and our feelings create our reality. You act based on how you feel. You want to feel good all the time. You want to feel healthy, positive, enthusiastic. You want to feel amazing. And how do you do this? By controlling the things you think about, controlling your use of your thought process. Once you can do this, you are basically the creator. You are basically the mastermind. And this is a beautiful exercise, a beautiful practice. But this is all I have right now. Go and manifest the life, the future, the very existence that you want. Create it in your imagination. Practice not being jostled by what people throw at you. Think about it. I give this example. Let's say somebody came to you and they hurled a bunch of insults at you, but they said it smiling and they said it in a language that you didn't understand. Would you feel upset? Would you feel hurt? No, you would not feel upset or hurt because they said it in a language that you don't understand. And their facial structure was smiling. So you think the people were saying something nice, but you just didn't understand it. So the same way, when people hurl things at you, that is stuff coming at you. That's not who you are. You give it meaning by the way you think. And that is why Shakespeare said, there's nothing good or bad in the universe. Thinking makes it so. So the way we think about things determines the importance, the reality we give it. Who's actually doing the controlling of the thought? You are. So you are the master of your thought. You are the master of your life. You are the master of your everything. One more thing I'm going to drop. The law of increase says that when you sow an act, you reap a habit. When you sow a habit, you reap a character. When you sow a character, you reap a destiny. Destiny is the unconscious things that people do. If it is positive, they say it's God or divine. If it is negative, they say it's fate or misfortune. But the reality is that you are the one creating your circumstances by use of your thought, feelings, action. That's how this thing works. Use your mind effectively because it's the greatest tool you have to work with. Okay, before I sign out, I have a free tool, the 5-day masterclass that I did. You can go to the link in my bio. You can download this. There's affirmations guide. There's free affirmation tools. I think yesterday I talked about creating a night routine and a morning routine for affirmations. But the basics of how to use affirmations. 3 P's to affirmation. It has to be positive, personal, and said in the present tense. So positive, personal, and said in the present tense, the 3 P's. Use affirmations the right way. Instead of talking about things that you don't want, talk about things that you desire. Talk about things that you want. Instead of thinking about how all the possibilities of things going wrong in your life, talk about the possibilities of things working out. What if things work out? See, the mind is always here to think negative thoughts at all times. It's just like a glass with water halfway full. You can either look at it as halfway full or halfway empty. And either ways, you're correct. Either ways, just like Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you are both correct. So you are correct. Everything is just coming from your perception, the way you are perceiving things. That's what creates your reality. If you perceive that you're going to be successful, you will attract success. If you have perceived that you're going to be a failure, you will attract failure. These things are easy and simple, but we just complicate things by the way we think because we give into that primordial, primitive man way of thinking. Someone said in the days, survival was the thing. Surviving as a species was the thing. But like all of civilization, all of the things that has happened over time in civilization, the vehicle, electricity, the roads, the conveniences of life, everything that we have now that we didn't have 20, well, or maybe 100 years ago, those things have been put to make life more comfortable, more convenient, more pleasurable. But are we any happier now than we were 100 years ago? Are we any more stressed less now than we were 100 years ago? Human beings always will figure out a way to default to that fear and discomfort, and especially fear of this. What if I lose my job? What if my mate leaves me? What if we always get to think negative about anything? That's just, is an inherent thing in the humankind. So the key for this talk is you want to take control of your thought process. Do less negative thinking, then you would not have to do any more positive thinking. When you eliminate all the negative thinking, you just automatically become a positive person. That's easy. So instead of doing heavy lifting of positive affirmations, just do less negative thinking. The less negative thinking you do, the less positive thinking you need to do. So you're using that same principle, but you're using it effectively in a good way. Anyways, I can talk about this kind of things all day long. But join me in this masterclass, 1-day masterclass. If I get enough people to sign up, I will announce the date and time. But interest. So tell family, tell friends, tell anybody that you know will use this kind of information can help. It's all about controlling your thought process. You're exposed to the social media that you listen to, the things that increase the fear. So there's two things that you can do. Once you take control of these two things, your life will just, you'll see results will just skyrocket. The people that you listen to, the people in your circle that feed you information, and to the content that you listen to. So it's mental food and the environment you're exposed to, the people that you're surrounded by. What kind of information are they giving you on a regular daily basis? Those people that are gossiping to you, telling you of all the horrible things happening in the world, telling you, have you noticed some people just enjoy talking about all the horrible things that's going on in the world? Do you have any friends like that? They enjoy, they feel like it's their duty to tell you, to be the news breaker, to break the news to you first about anything that has gone wrong in the universe. Do you have any friends like that? Start observing those kind of people. Start observing who's giving you information and what kind of information they're giving you. And that's it. You should reduce the negative feedback, negative information that you're getting. You will have to do less positive lifting. That's it. Thank you. Have a wonderful, exciting, beautiful day. I will.